Hello everyone, this is the Alvin and Gurmit Show. Tags.
Thanks. My name is Alvin Un.
My name is Gurmit Singh. Kau longer.
You're saying that yours longer, is it?
Whoa! What a start!
We have...
Yes, we do have them.
Yeah, we hope to bring you some joy, some laughs with our funny experiences and stories.
But disclaimer, if you laugh at our jokes,
We probably have about the same IQ.
which is not very high.
Not very, quite low. So let's start the show.
Yes.
Today's show tagline is...
Show.
Hey everyone, it's time to have some fun. So come along, our journey's just begun. Funny stories that we'll share with you. Do all the things that we wanna do. So sit back, relax, and just go with the flow. It's the Alvin and Gurmit Show.
Because we are both in show business.
Yes.
Right? So this is really about the things that we did for the many years after working together in the theme park that we talked about in the earlier episodes of Haw Villa, right?
Right. So after I left Haw Villa, I went on to a series of auditionings, embarrassing, humiliating, self-doubting auditions. This is
Correct.
what I think auditions are all about.
Correct.
Because you come out with auditions, you feel like,
It was all because you wanted badly to do something that you wanted to do, right? So
Sing.
you just put yourself
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
So what do you go through?
Band auditions, band after
audi-
band
Ah.
after band. So I will go to a club, right? I sit down and watch the band, and by then I already had been to several clubs, and I like the certain bands and all that. Then after their gig is over for the night, the 3 sets are over, I'll go over and say, hey, meet the band leader. If you're looking for another singer and all that, I'd like to put myself out there.
Right.
There was Europa in East Coast, right? And this band was really good, I tell you. The 2 lady singers, so good, my goodness. They sing Mariah Carey like nobody's business. So they even asked me to go on stage for one of their sets
Ah.
on a weeknight, like, because not so busy,
Right.
and sing one song.
Wow.
And I sang, everything I do it for you.
Right.
Brian Adams.
Okay.
Then I say, okay, thank you for calling, don't call us.
So that was just once? Just once?
Yes. Imagine my thing was just one thing.
Okay.
I just did just one. So I did a series of these, mind you.
Right.
And
Over a period of...
and each time, no, cannot.
Ouch.
Not out looking for it.
Okay.
Not in the,
Yeah.
Wow, I was like, then suddenly somebody got me in touch with the former manager of another band. So I sang for them 3 different songs.
Right.
Then next thing I know, she calls me and I said, okay, I will get you a band. I was like, wow. And she said, we're going to do this stint in Indonesia. But she said, your band members are coming from Japan. She already has an eye on all-girl band.
And you were the girl.
No! I was the drum god. So they already have a female lead and then the guitarist, keyboardist, drummer.
Right.
So they were looking for male lead. She said, I can put the 2 of you together and you guys will perform in Indonesia, Jakarta. Do
Wow.
the club scene. I said,
Oh,
wow!
that's pretty
And the
cool.
girls are hot girls, mind you.
Right. They had a temperature.
Yes. Fever all the time. So I was like, wow, this has jumped from no humiliation to, phew, come on, let's bring on Japanese girls now. Yay! And then finally she dropped the bomb. She said the band cannot come over. Contractually, they are still stuck with the previous manager. I cannot get them out, but I've already signed you up for many clubs in Indonesia.
So how?
So I need to get another band.
Oh, man.
So actually it was all men. We got all from an all-girl, cute Japanese girl, short skirt and everything.
Too ugly, man.
Well, I would say ugly, but all 40s. So I was the youngest member of the band. They were all in the 40s, late 40s,
Right. Then you were in your 20s still.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
Right.
she put me together with Norila Salim, if you remember her.
Norlina Salim, yes.
She's from Under One Roof.
Yeah.
She was
And she was also at Haw Villa.
also at Haw Villa.
Yeah.
So 4 of them there, plus the 2 of us went off Indonesia, Jakarta.
Oh, wow. Must have been a pretty eye-opener thing for you.
It was, because I've never been involved in this kind of environment,
Yeah.
this kind of time
Right.
time frame.
Right.
So you perform at night until about 3 in the morning,
Mm.
and then you go back to bed. You go to bed at about 6, 7 in the morning,
Wow.
and then you wake up at 3 in the afternoon,
Right.
and then you start rehearsals and
Yeah.
jamming again,
Yeah.
and then you start your work again at about 9, 10 p.m.
Right. So your whole time is
Oh,
all
I was in a different time
topsy-turvy.
zone all the time,
Yeah.
and I fell sick. I was there for 1 month, and as much as I love the singing thing and all that, it was not something that I was enjoying also.
Okay.
And after 1 month of that, I came back to Singapore.
Yeah. That's rough. But it was an experience.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
So that
Gave me a.
that's something. Yeah. So for me,
Mm.
I was offered a job at the Malay Village, Geylang Serai, and it was original.
Your job as what?
I was there to produce Malay or Indonesian cultural shows. I was there to produce shows because after Haw Villa producing theme park shows, that was a Malay theme park.
Right.
So that's a gradual progression.
Right.
So we already know what works for shows and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So they already had an existing performing troupe there, but they were mostly basically Malay dancers.
That's it.
That's it. They were just
That's basic
doing that.
dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they had fantastic things there. Although it was built up like a retail area, kampong kind in a setting, but they had a nice hall called the Singhasana Hall. They also had multi-sensory theatre over there, telling the stories like Aladdin, Alibaba, and all that. Those things. It was very nice because there was animatronics and all. It was like
Wow.
going to a Disney theme park,
Again.
attraction, yeah. And
Wow.
then they had this place called Kampong Days, where it's like, you go to the old kampong, and then there's chickens, and then there's like an open air theater, that kind of kampong feel. It was very nice. And they also had museums and restaurants, and all. It was a very nice place. So one of the things that was lacking was entertainment. Theme park entertainment, Malay.
But there was dance only, lah. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
back
all.
then it was just dance. But when we came in, we actually ramped up the show production. So it became stories, legends, bringing folk stories to life. There was
Right.
street theatre, there was character walks around the park. Basically transplanting what we did at Haw Villa into Malay Village. And it was
Right.
great because all of a sudden, the performers were then just dancers. They became performers. They had to act. They had to sing. They had to host. They had to do street theatre, and they had the time of their lives
Yeah, I was going to
because
say, I assume they were actually enjoying this.
they
were
enjoyed it.
open arms.
Yeah,
embraced it.
and we had new costumes, proper uniforms for them to wear, proper makeup.
Yeah.
Everything was provided for them properly and professionally,
Okay.
and it really ramped up their idea of performing. They were suddenly exposed to a higher requirement of performing.
I guess that also helped them feel a bit more of their self-worth, isn't it?
Definitely. And they learned so much. I think the most important thing is they learned a lot. They had a great experience, great bonding. You know how kampong, it's a very kampong feel, and we're all like
Right.
one big family kind of thing. So it's fantastic. So I was producing all the shows and worked with very good choreographers and all that. So it was very nice. Then I got to know the Malay culture much, much better because we worked with other cultural groups that came in.
Wow.
Yeah, like doing like Kuda Kepang and then the Dike Barat, which we used to do.
Yeah.
And of course, all the dancers, all the joget and all that. And they had festivals, bazaars. So it was quite great. It was a great semangat together family kampong thing.
Semangat means spirit.
Yeah, a lot of spirit over there. So it was great. So from then on, after about 2 years or so, I had to move on. So that's when I started my own business, running my company called Encore. So I've been running my company since 1995
Wow. Damn.
till today, and it's still in existence.
I can't cover this.
So what happened to you after your
Band.
band?
So, after the band thing, I started to think, maybe show business isn't for me. Fun times are over. Let's get to something more stable, more normal. So I went to MOE to apply as a teacher.
Right.
They said cannot.
Why?
Because I know math.
Ah,
I cannot do math. See, didn't I count the years, right? I cannot.
because if you check the old episodes, he went to play football during maths lesson.
yes.
That's right. Okay.
It's not my fault. Lah.
Yeah.
No. So I thought, okay, what else can I do then? Then I realized that I loved playing computer games,
Oh, don't we all? Yeah.
right? And I thought, what if I learn to be a computer programmer?
Whoa.
So after I was finished my diploma, few months before that, I was auditioning. And interestingly enough, the manager from the TV station who called me up was the same manager who was in the audience in Haw Villa
Right.
when we did the Tiger show,
Right. Okay.
the Tiger Bandit show.
Right.
That one had a lot of impromptu, spontaneity
Correct,
and all that.
correct.
So backstage, she caught me and she said, hey, you know, you're very quick on your feet. Maybe one day we do a live show kind of thing, TV show, you can be our host or something, coming
Right,
for audition.
right,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
But I don't think it was going to happen.
Right, right.
But 4 years later, true to her word,
called.
she called. She said, hey,
Wow.
come in for your audition and see what you want to do. So I went for the auditions, and I have to say I was like greenhorn on TV, I don't know anything, right?
Yeah.
And they said, come in and sit in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And for 2 minutes, talk about yourself to the camera.
Right.
So I did, hi, I'm Gurmit, Singh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
They said, okay, cut. The director said then, okay, now for 1 minute, just pretend somebody's on your right-hand side and pretend to interview him. He's a foreign artist who's in Singapore for performance.
Yeah, but like how he's pretending now.
Yeah. I don't see you. Yeah. So done already. Then I said, okay, done. Then they said, okay, never mind. We got your number. We'll call you if we need anything else.
Right.
A few weeks later, they called me out. They said, okay, you're shortlisted.
But you're not that short.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm listed. Okay. So this means that now we go into the actual studio with the actual props and set and everything,
Right.
with the actual cameras and record an episode
Oh.
of the show, which was going to be a live variety show.
Ah.
Back then, it was unheard of,
Right,
because
right.
back then everything was pre-recorded,
Yes.
because they were afraid
Except
that
for the
somebody...
news.
Except for the news, yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Ah.
So then it was all done already. Said, okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll let you know. Waited. Then finally got a call. Okay, Gurmit, good news. You've been selected
Wow.
as the host
Wow.
for the show. I said, wow, my first TV show, and it's a live TV show, 1
Yeah,
hour live TV show.
yeah.
I said, wow, that's
That's a big break, you know.
it's a huge break,
Yeah,
right? From a guy who's nobody.
Yeah,
And then I said, okay, so who's my female co-host? They said, don't have.
Ah? Was there supposed to be a female co-host?
Yes, it's supposed to be a male and a female.
Right, right, right.
But they said, we couldn't find anyone that
Chemistry.
with
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
I said, wow, so I'm alone, which means now I have to have the whole show on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And more script to memorize.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, memorize.
Yeah, because it's live, what?
Yeah, but don't they have a
can't-
prompter?
No, back in those days, no
Oh,
prompter.
okay.
The technology wasn't there yet.
Right.
So next to the camera, there will be a floor manager
Yeah.
who would stand there, and his head comes with the director and the panel, right?
Yeah.
So if he does this, it means continue. Stretch it,
as
stretch
much
it.
as you can.
We got more time.
Yeah.
If he does this,
Wrap
30
it up.
seconds.
Yeah,
30
okay.
seconds.
Yeah.
Does this? Okay.
Yep.
Can already. Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye. Say as
Okay.
fast as possible, right? So every time I do my script, I say my lines, I memorize, the corner of my eye, peripheral view, I'll see this, I see this, or I see this. You see?
Yeah.
So I can time my link to the item next based on his hand gestures.
Yeah. Maybe this one is Nick Prata.
What's the noodles? Isn't it? Dragon beard. The dragon beard, So I did that, and that was my first stint into TV. It was called Live on 5.
Yeah.
And I have another story, if I can add there.
Yeah.
Based on this, right?
Okay, we'll allow that.
Okay. At the end of the show, right? Same thing again, I'm waiting for him to do this, whatever, right? So I'm saying, oh, thank you for coming on the show, blah, blah, blah. And then I see his son. So I got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I say it was a wonderful show and everything. Thanks for coming and all that. And I'll see you next week. We've got so. Okay?
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
That's going.
Yeah.
Then suddenly he does this.
Wait!
From this,
What?
becomes.
What happened?
So that means he has to drag. I have to drag
Why?
more.
But
Later I found out they miscalculated the timing.
somebody forgot to press or something.
Yeah. So they were under running by 2 minutes.
Oh man.
So when he did this, right? So I was about to say, hey, so
See you,
until next
bye.
week.
Yeah.
But before we go, because I
Oh,
saw this,
wow.
right? At the last sentence, but before we go, man, I got to say, okay, this and I started interviewing the band and
Yeah.
then the audience lah.
Yeah.
And then I just
Yeah.
added sponsor, and then done.
Wow, but it must have been so stressful at that point in time to really.
It was stressful every Monday night because every Monday night was a live show.
Yeah.
So every Monday night, I had diarrhea. No, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Because take it from me that someone who hasn't grasped TV hosting at
yeah.
all, thrown to the deep end is an understatement. I'm thrown over the waterfall.
Right.
And then so I was so nervous, cold sweat and diarrhea every Monday night.
Wow. That's your stress. The reaction.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah. But it was a good learning curve. I learned everything on my feet. There was no trainer or whatever.
Wow. Okay.
And then you, after Malay Village, you had to go.
Well, after Malay Village, I started my own company
Company, right?
called
Yeah.
Encore.
Yeah.
And I just did whatever I knew what I was doing for the past few years, which I continued doing mascot shows.
Okay.
So I created mascots, and I worked with international mascots, characters like Garfield, Popeye, Snoopy, Ultraman, all the different characters. So I actually, a licensee would bring them in, and then I would produce the shows.
Wow.
So, and I produced the shows at shopping malls, and there were so many kids to entertain. It was so fun because you always perform for kids. You know how it's always so lively and fun.
And they're the best audience,
They're
right?
the best audience.
Yeah. Love the
And
audience.
you bring the characters to life.
Yeah.
And I push the level of mascot performances because it's not just somebody wearing the mascot and appearing.
Yeah, I hate those. That's like, might as well not even have the person in there.
Yeah, like what's that?
Yeah.
I actually produced a show with songs and there's a story and there's more to it. It's not just a simple one.
Right.
And when allowed, I even had voices of the characters talking.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, but one of the highlights would really have been Ultraman because
That's my
that was
childhood
like
hero,
one
man.
of the rare appearances. You hardly see Ultraman live. You only see on
Because
TV.
he's so tall.
Yeah, well,
so big.
in real life, he's just a human.
Right.
But we actually brought the costume in.
Right.
So I was like, oh man. So we had it at one of the malls. And the anticipation of seeing Ultraman live, it was this huge rock concert kind of feel inside the mall where every space was just packed.
Wow.
You could see a sea of heads.
Right.
Of not children, but
Oh.
adults.
Yeah, I would have been there if I knew.
Because Ultraman came out in the 70s, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
were, watching black and white TV, that
Yes.
kind of thing. And a lot of adults, their childhood came to life to see that Ultraman come out.
Wow.
So when Ultraman came out, we didn't need theater lights or stage lights because the flashlights was it was like just
Wow.
crazy, right? And it was really exciting because it brought back all the wonderful memories of these adults, and it made them so happy.
Right, second childhood.
Yeah, second childhood, and all these mascot shows really brought all these people together, and they enjoyed the show, and that makes it's not about the business already. It's about bringing joy to people. You know, that kind of thing. So I think
you touched on something very important before we wrapped up this episode.
Yeah.
What we always do is usually the first thing that we do for is because we like to do it and we like to entertain people. We like to see the smiles.
Yes,
we like to
correct.
be able to bring a little laugh or joy or smile to the audience.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of artists don't realize that. They need to know that because the success and the money and the sponsorship and endorsement, all that, that's a byproduct.
that's right.
You gotta get this right first.
I agree totally.
Right?
Whatever you do, it is not about the money. It should never be about the money. If you do it for the money, I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
And audience can tell if you're doing it for
Yeah,
the money or you're doing it
correct.
for passion.
You do it because you love to do it,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
passionate about it, you enjoy doing it, and it will be very obvious to the audience and
Yeah.
they will enjoy it even more. And if you're able to do that, you will be rewarded later.
Yeah.
You don't have to work because of the money, but because you want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the parting advice for any young
Party?
parting. I don't have any parting now.
I also don't have actually.
Wow, there's so much to share with you in this episode of Show.
Oh, we run out of time, so there should be a part 2.
Yes.
There will be a part 2.
Thank you so much for watching the show. We hope
Yes,
you
many thanks.
enjoy the show.
And if you enjoy the show, please spread the word, spread the love, let all your friends know.
Yes. And if you don't have any friends,
Oh, you're there?
spread it to your enemies.
Yeah,
It's okay. Yeah.
that works too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can actually torture them.
Not them again!
Oh no!
Okay, so here's our closing tagline. Listen carefully.
Yeah. The older you get,
Mm.
the better you get.
Unless you're a banana.
Aha. Are you a banana? Bye!
It's the Alvin